Hi, everybody. Well, no complaints about it being cold, I assume. Temperatures well in the 50s, even after dark tonight, as our rainy and now very mild, very warm for this time of the year pattern continues. Behind me, well, let's turn that off. Oh, get out of there. A little bit of love. You can see the some of the Christmas lights from the Oregon Garden Resort down in Silverton in that beautiful part of the valley. Notice on the screen on the left side here, you can see the radar. Yeah, we have mostly some light rain in the area. It's pretty dry if you were driving from Portland through the Sunset up into Seaside and Astoria, you can see it's mainly dry. It has been a much wetter day overall in the South Willamette Valley than it has been here in the north, and that rain is still down there, as you can see. I want to scroll down here, and I'm big because I had a request to make myself big. Let me make myself a little bit smaller. All right, you can see if you look at the two imagery loops, the one with the upper level contours on it on the left side, and then the one on the right is just the satellite picture with has some radar. And I'm going to go ahead and click on this one with the contours. And what I want you to notice is, oh my goodness, it didn't play like I wanted it to play. Let me back up. Let me back up and let's just, you know what? Let me just keep it the way it is. So look at my mouse. You can see the Nick system, pretty good low right there where you see the comma-shaped curl right in there. This is the system that will start pushing that little bit of cloudiness ahead of it is rain that will start coming in tomorrow. And then the main push of rain here is Monday overnight into Tuesday with this next front. Now, I want you to notice something. The flow pattern is still overwhelmingly coming from our west. See how these systems are just kind of coming in from the west to the east. This is not really what you typically would refer to as atmospheric rivers. You would refer to this as just good old-fashioned Pacific weather fronts coming in. Weather fronts by nature are elongated. So by nature, the elongation of the precipitation along that front is a bit of a plume of moisture. This batch of moisture that we had come in today, see how it's a little bit longer, even though it breaks, it's now into California, extends a little bit more to the south. But this is certainly a wet system winding up that's coming into us mainly Monday night, Tuesday, into Wednesday morning. And that's going to be the last big hurrah in terms of us having the potential to get enough moisture to really have some problems. So more on that coming up in just a moment. I do want to show you what's going on up on the mountain. It continues to be warm. Let me give Hillcrest Ski and Sports their credit on Burnside for sponsoring my ski forecast page. I appreciate that very much. All right. Well, look at the forecast. 41 tonight at Government Camp, 49 tomorrow. Rain continues. Tuesday, heavy rain, 42 to 48. Snow levels down here eventually get to 8,000 feet. There's a front that comes in Wednesday. That front lowers snow levels that are high early down to 4,000 feet later in the day. I don't see much snow in Government Camp, but 6,000 feet timberline certainly could see 6 inches of snow behind that front in the afternoon as the snow levels drop. And then another front comes in on Thursday, not as wet as the ones we've had, but it could dump 4 to 7 inches in the mountains with snow levels at 3,000 feet. And that would bring a return to snowy travel over the Cascade Passes, and then just some frivolous showers of flurries and snow showers on Friday. Snow levels stay at 3,000 feet. Notice Government Camp, the pavement is very wet, very dry, or not dry, but very wet and very clean, I meant to say, with a temperature of 45. All of the Cascade Passes are now basically clean and just wet with rain falling, and that's going to be the case the next couple of days up there. All right, now with that said, let's get into some graphical information that I want to put together for you. I'll make this a little fuller. Okay, so what I'm showing here is, yeah, this fits the bill to call it an atmospheric river. This was earlier today. This was this morning when it was really just raining this morning. What I want you to notice is you have this elongated kind of finger, if you will, that extends out of this main moisture flow and just extends northward. And this was feeding right into us. So that was that moisture that we had today. There's another bit of very warm tropical, not tropical, but moist rain on the back end of it. That's back in here. And that's going to feed into us on Tuesday. But as I mentioned, these are kind of all individual weather fronts. When we really have serious flood problems, when we get an elongated plume of moisture that feeds up from Hawaii. And if you look at a satellite picture, it just keeps feeding and feeding and feeding and feeding nonstop for maybe 2-3 days. We're not seeing that this time. These are all individual storm fronts that are coming and going. Now, they are tapping in to the moisture flows out in the Pacific, and you're hearing people say, and by textbook, okay, atmospheric rivers. But we're so far, we're being fortunate that there are decent breaks in between each front. I mean, we had the heavy rainfall this morning, and then this afternoon we just had some light stuff. And tonight we're just going to have some light stuff. That's key because it gives the runoff a little chance to settle before you get the next big blast of heavier rain coming into our rivers and streams. So a little bit of us being fortunate there. Here's a look at the rain totals for the past 24 hours. These are basically everybody that had an inch or more, including Florence, 3.43. And notice the mid to South Valley picked up more than the North Valley. Eugene over 2 inches, Corvallis 1.88, Astoria 1.30, Aurora 1.26, Salem 1.24, McMinnville over an inch. Troutdale did get over an inch. I went ahead and put Portland on here, not an inch, but figured you would be interested, 0.84 inches. Generally speaking, not as much rain, which was a good thing. We don't want flooding, not as much total rain as I was projecting we could see. The 2-inch amounts generally stayed across southern Oregon and as far north as the Eugene area, but that's key. So we're right on the edge. We're starting to have some problems, so maybe we can continue to kind of sneak by in the next couple of days. Here's the latest watch warning map from our friends at the National Weather Service. This light blue color is an avalanche warning now for the Cascades, which makes sense, right? You had the couple of feet of heavy snow. Now you've got heavy rain. That's really producing unsettled conditions with the snow that's on the mountain and the runoff that's now taking place. So it's just an absolute dangerous setup to be in the high country. They're also seeing gusty winds at times of 50 miles per hour or higher in the high country of the Cascades. So you wouldn't want to be up there and all that. Avalanche warning is up. This dark green color is the only other thing I'm going to mention, and it is the flood watch, which has now been extended through Wednesday afternoon because of that system. We talked about this yesterday, that last really wet system, Monday night, Tuesday into Wednesday morning. So it makes sense the flood watch has been extended through that period. Here is the latest. This is from the National Weather Service site, and this is the latest river stream monitoring map. Anything in green is good. That means you've got nothing approaching flood stage. You've got maybe some fast running water, but everything's well in the banks. Now, because of the rain we picked up this morning and last night, we're now seeing some rivers down here south of Salem that are yellow, and that is near flood stage on the key over here. Nothing above flood stage yet in our immediate area, but we're watching some of those rivers in Marion County down into Lincoln County. Here are some rivers that I've chosen to highlight. And I did have one of you say, hey, Rod, some of the maps are blurry. And I think maybe they were talking about some of these river maps. I screen grabbed these off of the National Weather Service website. And quite frankly, even on the National Weather Service, for whatever reason, the fine print numbers are kind of blurry on their site. So can't do anything about that. Let's look at the Wilson River. Always one of the first ones to produce problems, right? Flood stage is 12 feet. Right now, the river is being reported at 8 feet. But notice how the rains over the weekend have started this upward movement. And with rains picking up tomorrow, late day, into the night, and into Tuesday, there's that big spike expected to push the river right now up to 11.19 feet. Flood stage is 12. If we get enough rain, maybe more than what the modeling is projecting, then this would hit flood stage. It looks like Monday night into Tuesday morning, potentially. So we're keeping an eye on the Wilson River. This does have it going back down. I would say it probably doesn't start going down significantly until Wednesday afternoon. The Wilson River is one of those waterways in Tillamook that quickly comes up and quickly goes down. But right now, it's going to be very fortunate if we're not hitting flood stage at some point Monday overnight into Tuesday. So again, that's the Wilson River. Let me touch on, this is the Willamette, one of our big rivers, of course. This is below the falls in Oregon City. Flood stage here is 27 feet. If you go back to last week, no problems. If you go into Saturday even, no problems. Now we've had the rain today, and the rain this morning was enough to send that flood stage up. So notice the increase tonight, Monday, Tuesday, and then right now, the folks that watch and put out these projections for river levels, have the Willamette kind of leveling off with the last bit of that heavy rain Tuesday into Wednesday, leveling off at 20 feet, which would be high and running fast, but 7 feet below the flood stage. So we'll keep an eye on that. Again, that's the Willamette. I think I have one more I want to show you. Yeah, the Nehalem River near Foss. By the way, the projection for the Nehalem for you folks in Vernonia, not showing much of a rise at all. But by the time you get into Tillamook County down near Foss, again, the rains that we've had over the weekend, sending the river levels up about 10 feet this afternoon. Flood stage is 15. And this is another river going into Tillamook County that going into the day Tuesday could be nearing flood stage. So we'll keep an eye on those rivers. So far, the rain amounts I have seen over the Coast Range mountains are not out of sight. I mean, we've had 2-3 inches at the coast. We've had an inch plus here in the valley. We've had 3 inches with some of these systems in the Coast Range. But again, there have been some breaks in between, and that's really, really key for us. So heavy rain yet to come. We're going to have light stuff tonight for the most part. It's actually kind of foggy tonight. You get that we're in that warm air mass now. Dew points are around 50 degrees. The temperature settles at 50 and you get fog, kind of misty weather. That's what we're going to have tonight. Tomorrow, rain increases during the day. And I do expect once we get rolling into the afternoon and into the evening, that we'll mainly be looking at some steady rain tomorrow. It could be a 1/2 inch as much as 3/4 of an inch. And then the rain rates Monday overnight into Tuesday morning really pick up. That's that next big shot of heavier rain. And I think altogether, Monday night into Wednesday morning, it's got to be significantly more than what we picked up this morning. So I really feel Monday night, Tuesday, Wednesday morning, 2 inches is still a good call, maybe as much as 2.5. And then, of course, the million-dollar question is, will that be enough to kick those rivers into Tillamook County above flood stage? Will it be enough to maybe produce some other issues on the Cowlitz County or the Clackamas River and those? So again, we'll be watching this period of time very carefully. Behind that, there's a separate weather front that comes in Thursday, a 1/2 inch. That would maybe slow the recession of some area rivers, but it wouldn't really make anything go up higher, if that makes sense. And then really that's it. Friday is just a typical frivolous scattered shower day, maybe a 1/10 of an inch of rain, maybe not. And at that point, we'll basically be out of this. So with all of that said, thanks to Hazeldale Tire Pros for sponsoring my 7-day forecast. Now I'll cover up their name and show you my 7-day. So tomorrow, rainy day overall. We talked about, I mean, it could be fairly steady rain much of the day. If anything, the rain will become more widespread and the rain rates a little heavier in the afternoon, a little heavier into the evening, a little heavier into the night. Notice the temperatures. By the way, the high in Portland today, I'd forecasted 58, was 61. We just missed the record. Today's record, 62. Tomorrow, right around 60. Tuesday, staying in the 50s, right around 60 during the day. Wednesday, again, about 50 in the morning. This is when a cold front comes in. So it's morning rain breaking into scattered showers in the afternoon. And then rain picks up during the day Thursday with that other standalone cold front. Friday, a few scattered showers of sun breaks, a cooler day, 41 to 47. And then this is a change. I had been believing the models that were showing that we would be dry this weekend. I've been saying that for quite a while for this upcoming weekend. I hate to pull the plug on that, but it now looks like the next weather system approaching Saturday will throw moisture inland. We'll see rain developing during the day, and then that front comes in on Sunday, and that gives us some more rain. Now, notice nothing cold. In fact, Sunday, I've got us back up to 53 degrees in the afternoon. Still a lot to keep track of. I remind you, if you're going to be driving the next couple of days or nights after dark, that use caution because, you know, especially if we get heavy rain Tuesday into Tuesday night, that could be a period of time that we have some ponding of water on roadways. At night, it's really tough to see that. And if you're cruising along, it's pretty easy to have an accident. So for now, I'll thank you for watching. My weather site's portlandweather.com. I'm meteorologist Rod Hill, and I'll talk to you soon.